Hi, so I'm going to create, first things first, I need to create the database for zagi. And that once I create that, I'm able to input the tables. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I use this little create a new schema box. Okay, apply, finish. Okay, so now I'm going to, oops. Okay, we're going to use the database zagi. Of course, this is the command create. Okay, here is the data I'm going to be inputting. These are just tables to create, and of course, create table is the command to create that. You're going to create table. This is going to be our vendor table. Vendor ID. Actually, let's keep it lowercase if that's what they have it as. Characters identifying what it's going to be like for each column. And then not null, comma, new, column, vendor name. Okay, this gives us a 25 character limit. Not no. Oh, space that one out. Then our primary key will be assigned to the vendor ID. Key will be assigned to the vendor D. Semicolon stops the table essentially. So I always like to run it to check that there's no issues. Okay, and this is showing an error in the SQL syntax. And the reason for the error is I forgot the extra parentheses. So I'm going to run it again. Okay, and this time the green shows that the table was created. So I'm going to keep going. Create. Need to see the create table. This table will be named category. Category ID will be the first column. Okay, same as above, character 2, not no. Anything in blue is essentially like a SQL command. Not null. Another column, category, name. Okay, our limit again, 25 characters. Not null, comma. Okay, our primary key, we need to assign one. Will be category. Oh. Parentheses, or else it will not run. ID, another parentheses to close it out, and a semicolon to end that section. All right, and green here shows that it was successfully created. We're gonna keep moving on. I'm gonna create the table named product. This one actually has quite a few things. Is it not pausing? Oh, this will just keep going through it. I do not like this. Of all the days, it wants to be slow. Okay. This is running a little too slow for my liking. Where was I? Okay, I was trying to see if I can make computer go faster. Okay, create product. That's going to be our next table. I'm just going to be the one with the, looks like the one with the most to type in. Also looks like a couple of foreign keys. All right, we have our product ID. I'm not spelling that right. Product ID. Okay, this time this has a character, 3 characters. Okay, not no, comma, next column in the table, product name. Also text. Limit is 25. Not null. Comma, next column, product price. Okay, and this has a numeric value. Not null. I like to keep everything capitalized. I think it's SQL. Okay, I'm missing the category table. Category. Category ID. Okay, we're going to open this up with the parentheses. Two characters for text. I always like to think characters as text. Two, not null, comma. Next column, category name. Okay, characters here is limited to 25, not null. Okay, then we need to assign a primary key. Should be category ID. Okay, and then we're going to close this. Okay. Next table would be vendor. So we close this out, the semicolon. Next table is product. So create table. We already have vendor. What is going on here? It looks like I started writing in between. Okay, yeah, vendor ID. There we go. Looks like somewhere. Messed up. Okay. Okay, so we have our create table vendor, our table category, category ID, category name. Okay, and our next table is vendor. So we're on our third table, vendor. Correction, we're on our third table, product. Okay. Not null. Okay, product price was numeric. Then we have vendor ID, character 2, not null, and our category ID. Category. Okay, our primary key will be product. Okay, and we have foreign keys, so as we can see, the category and vendor ID are from our tables above here. I like to keep it all capital. Our foreign key will be vendor ID. references vendor table. So it references the vendor table to the primary key vendor ID. Comma, foreign key, B category ID, references, that wasn't spelled right because it didn't turn blue, references, table category, primary key category ID. Okay, and we're going to close that out. Here we have an error, should be a comma. Okay, everything looks good. Next table is region. So we're going to use the command create table. This type is going to be called region. Parentheses to open this up. Region ID, character 1, or text 1. Not null. Region ID. Region name. Character, not null. Okay, we're going to do another column. Oh no, no more columns. So it's just a 2 region table has 2 columns, region ID and region name, and then we're going to assign a primary key. Primary key would be region ID. Close parentheses, stop. Next table, create the customer table. Customer. I'm going to open the parentheses up. Customer ID. This has up to 8 characters. No. Next column would be, after customer ID, would be customer name. Up to 7 characters. You have customer zip. File. Okay. And then, okay, last thing to do is assign the primary key to customer ID. Close that out, that ends our table. We're going to create another table. After customer, it is sales transaction. And this will have 1 primary key and 2 foreign keys. Okay. Table transaction ID or TID. Okay, with limited character 3. cannot be null, or can't be empty, more or less. Customer ID, character 7, comma, next table, next column, not table, next column is store ID. Characters 3. This is not null. And we have a date, transaction date or T date. Date. No. Okay, now we are going to add in our primary key, which will be transaction ID, comma, foreign key, customer ID, which references our customer table, hence the customer ID, customer table. We also have another foreign key here, which would be store ID which will reference did I spell that right? References. Oh, look, I did. References our region. Our region. Oh, a store table? We do. Create table product, create table region. So I forgot to create the table store. No problem, you just insert it here. Create table store. Store ID. Okay, this will have up to 3 for its ID, 3 characters for it. Not null. Next column would be store zip. It's going to have 5 characters. The zip codes are only 5 digits, not null. But this character doesn't necessarily mean integer, so zip code is just like a text. Store zip. Region ID, character 1, not no. So we have 3 columns here. Have a primary key being store ID and a foreign key being region ID. Which references this region table, specs to the region ID column. Okay, semicolon. Oh, forgot to close this out. Add another parentheses to close this out. Store ID. Okay. That's our sales transaction. Okay, and our last column would be include, or I mean, our last table would be the includes table. We have a product ID, 3 characters or 3 text, 3 letters. No, cannot be left empty. Transaction ID. Various characters. Up to 8. Not null, cannot be left empty, comma, next column, quantity. This is an integer, meaning a number that can be added using commands or subtracted. Okay, you're going to assign our primary key to product ID and transaction ID, comma, next would be your foreign key. Product ID. Ref references the product table product ID. Forgot a comma here. Foreign key be transaction ID. Which references I'm never spelling this right. References the sales transaction table transaction ID. All right, that should be the creation of all our tables. Okay, and we're going to run all of this. So we're going to use the zagi database that I created using the little barrel. Okay, we have our vendor table, category, each one with its respective columns. And if it's not there, it should be, because if not, it's not going to be able to reference. Vendor, category, product, region, store, customer, then we have sales transaction, and includes. Oh, so the vendor table already exists because we had to run that earlier. So we're just going to run everything afterwards. Okay. Okay, so all our rows are here, and I believe the next thing to do, okay, we created the tables. The next thing to do is fill them with data. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to insert data. Okay, next thing we're going to do is insert the data. Insert into table vendor values, meaning what it's going to hold. Pacifica gear. Into table vendor, the values, or what's going to go in it. King. Okay, then we're going to go into our category values, or insert information into our category table. Into the category table values. CP, comma, camping. Okay, that ends it. Insert into the category table values FW for footwear. Into, it's going to be our product values, our inserting information into our product tables. Product values X1, comma, Z back. If this is spelled incorrectly, if I were to query it, it wouldn't show up. 100. PG, Pacific Gear Camping, comma, CP. Again, we're inserting into our table of product values. Easy boot. $70. Okay. Comma. So we're still inserting into our product table essentially what's going into the rows. These are 90. So again, we're still on the product table. We're inserting the values for what's going to be contained. Now there's a specific order to this, because if not, the tables are going to look really weird. Tiny tint. Okay, and this will be the last values we're going to put into the product table. these aren't put into parentheses because they're quantity, but you can kind of see the character and the variable character that the 1 by 1 isn't going to be necessarily taken in as like 1 and 1 or 1 times 1. $250. Okay, next table we will be working on is regions, and it's all the same. Word we're going to use. Insert into is a command. What is it? Values. Okay, closing it up with the semicolon. Insert into same table region, values, T for tri-state. Okay, next table. Oh my. Okay. Next table is store. Insert into, again, we're using the same format to insert the information. Insert into store, values, +1. Our zip code 60600. For C, Chicagoland. Insert into another store. Oh. That's 2, 60605. This is the zip code. C. Insert into store values. Mm-hmm. Three, 5, 400, and then T, which of course would be referencing the tri-state. Semicolon to end, and then we're moving on to the customer table. And it's still going to be the same format to insert the values or the information. I can see the customer names being put in. And the same way we put it into the table has to follow the same information. So like ID, name, zip code. Tina, zip code 601. 37. Values. Two, three, 444. Tony. Okay, and it's going to be our zip code. Insert into customer. I believe this is our last customer value. Values. Three, 4, 5, which would be the ID. Then we would have the name. Pam. And then the zip code pertaining to the person, name, ID. 3, 5, 4, 1. We're going to end that with a semicolon. And we're going to continue on to the sales transaction, and then our sales and transaction table, then our includes transaction or includes table. So it's going to be the same format for every time we are inserting information. Customer. Thought we did customer. Oh no. So we have inserted information so far for vendor, category, product, region, store. We just did customer, so now it's actually sales transaction. The same way, wrote sales trends. Let me make sure. Sales. Same way I spelled it here is going to be the same way I spell it here. And already looks weird. All right, values. These look like ones. T111. These are obviously the foreign keys. It's referencing the 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, store 1. And we're going to keep doing this, trying to be mindful that I spell sales transaction the same. If not, it's going to look pretty bad. T222 2 3 4 4. And then we also have a date here. Okay, I was just making sure that our table will pick up the dates. Right, we have about 3 more to insert. Next one, same way, insert into sales trends, action, values, making sure everything's pretty much consistent. If not, we'll get an error. T333, comma, -2 -333. Date. Okay, this is going to be our last few. Transaction values to insert, following the same format. T44. And we can't miss anything because we already set the restrictions that nothing can be null. 3, comma, S3. Okay, then our last sales transaction value to be put in. It's the 5th one. 2, 3, 4. At store 3. Okay. So our last column is, or our last table was include, so that's going to be our last information to put in. Same, insert into, because that's the command to insert information. This time it will be in our include table, includes table. Value, values, right? Because you have multiple. 1x1, keeping it consistent. T111. Insert into include. I'm going to keep doing this. We have quite a few to insert. One, insert into includes believe the includes had a couple of foreign keys. You have to keep that in a parentheses, comma 1. I'm going to close this out, continue to use the same input. We're on our 4th one. Insert into again, same. We're still in the includes table for the values. Skipped over one. This is actually supposed to be 1 by 1 T 1 2 3, and then it's 1 2. Values were correctly inputted. For X4 G44. Okay, you have 4 more to put in. Insert to the includes values. Insert into includes table the values. Again, we're still inserting information into our includes table. Values. Your last values to insert into includes table values. Okay, that's it. Let me make sure. Oh, I forgot a parentheses to close it out here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Make sure. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, all the information is correct. Just run that. Okay, we're gonna insert it. So we have an error in Chicagoland in region. Apparently it's too long for a region name. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change this to 10. Oh, already exists. Okay, so now all the information is put in, and next to do is display all the records in the customer table, and we're going to do that with select little asterisk means to all from the table customer, not customer, and then semicolon. So you have our customer ID, customer column, but it asks for all records in the customer table, right? Okay, so initially it had a an error, but it's because I didn't I didn't run the query, so it didn't insert the values. But now we have our customer ID, our customer name, and our customer zip. So we're showing all from our customers table. Okay, display. So we display all the records from the customer table. And then next is display all records whose name starts with the letter T. So we know we definitely have 2. So what I'm going to do is select, I'm going to use the same one because we're still looking at the same table. Select from all, we're going to select all from the customer table. I use the textbook. Right? Where customer name is like so we just know the letter T. %sign T, %sign T. We're going to run this query. So now we have Tina and Tony. So that one does, all right, so we selected the customers start with the letter T, and our next step is to insert 2 customers. Okay, and then it looks like our next task is to, wonder if I can, there we go, is to insert oh no. Okay. I'm going to insert into our customer table ID, name, and zip code. Customer ID is 2355 5. And her name is Mike. And then the zip code is 606. Really?